Hi, I'm Jo Greenland, and I'm here to tell you about the book I've been writing. Technically the first draft is finished, but there have been many versions to shape what was asking to be said, because this isn't just a book, it's a doorway. I'm a homeopath, a midwife, a researcher with over 30 years experience, and in that time I've witnessed something interesting. People think they come in because they're sick, stressed and exhausted, but I've found they come because they're disconnected. Disconnected from their bodies, from each other, from themselves, and because of this, they often ask, how did my life get like this? This is not a medical question. It echoes of a much deeper problem. How do I know? People come to see me with all those things: exhaustion, overwhelm and sickness, but when they return, something has shifted. They're smiling, they're lighter, they say, I feel like myself again. They're not just better, they've reconnected with themselves. Occasionally, someone puts this into words. One man comes to mind, a successful businessman whose life looked amazing from the outside, but in truth was barely functioning. He was exhausted, in constant pain, burdened by something he couldn't name. After just a few months of working together, he said, you know, mainstream medicine is brilliant for emergencies. Surgery, they've got it nailed. But when it came to me and my problem, it failed me. I got no help. I wasn't given any understanding, just drugs to numb the pain. But your approach, it helped me make sense of it. Not just what was happening in my body, but why it was happening to me. And from that place, I could finally heal. I get so excited when I hear stories like that, where someone begins to understand their illness, because that's what I do. And for a long time, that's all I did. I live and work at the end of a dirt road in the middle of nowhere, and I was happy in my comfort zone. No spotlight, no grand plan. Then my husband died, without warning. 1 minute here, the next minute gone. And suddenly, I wasn't the one guiding anyone anymore. I was free-falling, trying to make sense of a business I didn't understand, navigating conflict with people I barely knew, all while my heart was still breaking. It felt like everything solid had slipped away from me, and the only way I found to survive was to start practicing what I'd been teaching others for years. That's when this book really began to take shape. Its message was kind of a lifeline for me, a thread through the dark. It's called The Door Behind My Belly Button, a guide to your inner compass. Why? Because patients would say to me, my life's a mess. Why aren't we born with a manual? And after hearing that a few times, I began to reply, well, maybe you are. Maybe it's just hiding behind the door, behind your belly button. It made them smile. And I'd go on to explain, I believe we each carry an inner compass, right there in the center of our body, where instinct, emotion, and wisdom meet. You might call it your gut, or the intuitive center, or your third chakra, or your belly button. It doesn't really matter what you call it. What matters is you learn to hear what it's saying, because we've forgotten how to tune into it, and when we lose that connection, we end up chasing someone else's dream. This book is part memoir, part map. Now, it's not a formula, it's a lens, a way of seeing, one that helps you hear what life is trying to say. Because I've come to believe that life is always speaking to us, through symptoms, through conflict, through grief, through anything that troubles you really. And hence the question's not, why is this happening to me? It's, what is this asking of me? What I've learned, fighting life only brings more struggle. It drowns out what's trying to be heard, but listening opens a door. Not always to the path you expected, and not always simple, but it's true. And when you hear it, you can't help but recognize it. That's why I wrote this book, not to give answers, but to remind us how to listen. So if life is bringing you trouble and you found yourself asking, how did life get like this? Well, this book is for you, as a companion, as a gentle guide, to help you find your way through into the life that's been waiting for you.